Good morning, Flosstube. I'm Christy, and this is my channel, Javagirlstitches, and this is Flosstube number 60. So welcome back. I'm happy to be back today. I have a really fun video today with tons of finishes to share with you. So I have been working on, as you guys know, mostly ornaments. So I have quite a few to share with you today. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun just to do like an ornament parade. And then I do have another big finish, a couple whips, not much. And then some other stuff to share with you. So let's see, I hope you guys had a great Halloween. We took Clover trick-or-treating for her first time and it was really fun and she was absolutely adorable. So that was great. We did go to Disneyland. The first day we went, because everybody said to go to the Star Wars ride for the first time. So we did, but we ran like everybody else was running. So I was like, we're running too. And I did mess up my knee a little bit, and it's just a knee that has had problems before, and I ended up kind of messing it up again and realizing that I am way too old to be running all the way through an entire Disneyland park. So that day was a little rough for us. We did get, it wasn't super busy, but thankfully we had the Genie Pass, which I definitely recommend if you're going to go to Disneyland. You have to pay a little bit extra for it, but instead of a fast pass, it gets you so you can go back to the rides and get on way quicker. So we did do that. So the first day was a little rough. The second day, 100 times better. It was like the Disneyland trips we always have that are super great. We went to California Adventure. I can still ride roller coasters. Love them, absolutely love them. I was a little worried. I'm like, maybe I'm just getting too old. I can't even handle those anymore. But I can totally rock them because I love them so much. Just no more running in the park. And yes, I have gotten in trouble before at Disneyland when I was younger. I mean like in my 30s, and I got yelled at for running. But everybody's running and I get excited and I want to get to the ride. So so my knee was messed up the entire time, but I didn't realize I was limping as bad as I was, because some lady at the park was like, oh, because I guess she had knee problems too, and she's like, you need to get yourself a walker so you can get around here. And I was like, oh man. I told Dave, I said, is it that noticeable? And he's like, yes. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is just not good. But you know what? I kept going and we had a great time. So, yeah, that was my late birthday present. That it was just me and my hubby this time. And it was kind of weird not having my boys there. And then, well, along with the first night, we ended the first night. I was like, we just went out with a bang, The day was kind of rough. And then we did have to go back to the room and take a nap because I was so tired. And we came back, we had dinner, and then Dave's like, let's go on Splash Mountain. And that is, I've been on Splash Mountain so many times, and it's my boy's favorite ride. And I have never gotten soaked as much as we did that night. It was like just buckets of water just dumped completely on top of us. And I was like trying to hide behind Dave, and no, we were completely soaked. And it was freezing outside and it was windy, and I was like, yeah, no. So we just went back to the room that night, and I'm like, let's just go to bed. Like, we're going to call it a night. So, yeah, but all in all, we had the second day much better, and we had a really great time. What else have we been doing? I'm still stitching Christmas, and I'm loving it. And my hubby got all my boxes out today. And we're gonna at least put up the trees, not decorate them, but we're moving stuff around and getting ready. So tomorrow I will start decorating, and it'll probably take me all week to decorate the whole house, but I'm excited and ready to do it. So that's pretty much what's been going on over here. Okay, so jumping into all my finishes. So I do have a lot this time, more than normal, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Or feel like you have like put pressure on you that you have to stitch as much as I do. I have, for one, they're all ornaments, so they were all smalls. And what I do is once I get in the stitching groove, I will keep stitching and stitching and stitching. I don't like stitch one thing or two things and then go do a finish. I tend to stitch a lot of things because I'm in the mood to stitch and I'm not in the mood to finish. And then I will come back when I'm ready and then I will do the finishes, which usually is quite a few. So that's what works for me. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to, it's not a race. You stitch what you can stitch. You stitch at the pace that works for you, whatever is relaxing and makes you happy. And like last year, I had there's a bigger piece here. I do have one big piece that I stitched 2 of them last year and I never even finished them. Because I knew I wanted to do one more and I didn't get around to it, and that's okay. So you just do what is best for you. And hopefully I will go slow and I will explain how I've done them all. Because the ornaments are they're very different, or mostly different. So it'll give you guys, I'm hoping to give you guys some inspiration of how to do different types of ornaments. And they do not have to be expensive. You don't have to buy all these expensive things. You can use whatever simple things you can find, and you can still make an ornament really, really cute. Okay, so let's get into the finishes. Okay, so let's do the first 2 I'm gonna show you because they match. And these were by Salt and Pepper Stitching, and they were the Merry Duo. So here is the Santa. And so this little sled was at Micheals for $1.99. That's it. So when I stitched these, I knew that because they were so tiny, I knew I wanted to do them in a circle finish. So the sled just came painted white already. So what I did is I put a little bit of batting. I think I put 1 layer of batting, and then I just put it in a circle finish, a little rickrack, and then a bow, 2 bows, and just a little bell in the middle. And Mrs. Claus, I did her exactly the same way so that they match. So this is just, I mean, no fabric behind it or anything like that. Just something really simple, but easy and inexpensive and so cute. I love these. I did change, instead of her dress being green, I did change it to red. And I did her cheeks red. I did both of their cheeks red. But I was so happy with how these turned out. They just made me so happy. They were so tiny and so cute. And I was like, please fit on this sled, because nothing else did. And it works. It does hang off a little bit, but you know what? It's fine. So those are those 2. Put those over there. Okay, the next one, let's do these 2. I'll do this one first. And these next 4 I'm going to share with you were by Madame Chantilly, and it was in her Christmas stamps book. So if you remember my last videos, I took certain ones and I just stitched them separately for ornaments. So here is the first one. And this one's going to go on my gingerbread tree. And so this is the back. I did not spray paint it, but because I wanted to show you. This is a little tiny cutting board that I got at Hobby Lobby. So all I did was I spray painted it white, and then I mounted this on sticky board, and we have the rickrack. And then at the top, I used some ribbon and 2 little holly leaves and a covered button. And then down here, I just put a little twine and a little gingerbread button. And this ribbon, thank you, Alyssa. So she had been using some ribbon, and I was like, that's the perfect size ribbon. Because on ornaments, I mean, before you guys have noticed, I've used huge ribbon. And I was like, okay, it's kind of unproportioned now that I'm, you know, moving forward in my cross stitch journey and my finishing. I was like, I think it needs to be a little smaller. And so I was like, where did you get the ribbon? It does come from Walmart. I was only able to get 3 of them, but so I did use it like with everything this year. I just love it. So there's the first one. Oops. Okay, and the second gingerbread one is this little cutie. And so this is a little tiny board. Also, this one is from Stitch Etc. And it was black, so I did spray paint it white, and I scuffed it up like I always do. I have 2 little fabrics on there and rickrack. And again, the bow, some twine, and the gingerbread button. So these 2, I'm super happy, will go on my gingerbread tree. And no, I do not. Up here, you can put a string through here, but I will tell you, sometimes I might put a string on this one. I haven't yet, but it will fit through the needle of the tree. And I have done that with some of the bigger ones. I've had to, you know, so it doesn't it's not hanging this far down and you have all this blank space. You just stick it right in the needle of the tree, and it works just fine. And it doesn't damage your tree. It's fine. It's all good. Okay, let's go on to, okay, we'll do these 2 next. So these next ones were the ones that I stitched from the Lizzie Kate Tiny Tidings book. So here is the first one, mistletoe testing here. So this is just a metal piece that I believe it did come from Hobby Lobby. It has something in here like paper that it says something, and it has the beads at the top. So what I did is I just mounted it. Red rickrack, the fabric was perfect for this, which I already had. And then this fabric, I just covered up the picture that was underneath. And then I did use 2 different ribbons, and again the holly. And this holly with the stitching, the holly and the leaves, or the berries and the leaves, it does come on a roll, and I believe I got it at Hobby Lobby last year, and I believe they still have them. So then all you have to do is cut them off. It comes in like 1 string, so you can make like a garland, and you just trim them and then you just glue them on. And so I thought that would be perfect for this one. But again, something that's, you know, not very expensive that you can get, that you can do like a bigger finish on. So there's that one. Okay. And my next one from that book, it was Got Snow with the Santa. And if you remember me talking last time, I had a pom-pom for that. And it was sitting here, and I was doing the finish, and it flung off somewhere, and I have still never found it. So I was like, okay, I guess we're not putting a pom-pom in his hand. So I just picked a snowflake button and glued it on there. So this one is finished on a board from Stitch Etc. And so I've had these for a while, and I knew that they would be perfect for Christmas, and this one fit perfectly. And this one does have the same fabric as the mistletoe because they're the same colors. And then I have 2 bows on top, a little bit of greenery hanging off the side, and then a Santa button, which you can get at Hobby Lobby. So another bigger one. So like the tree branch will go in here just because it's bigger. So those were fun to do. Okay. Oh, I forgot to show the other other 2. Okay, let's do these 2 Madame Chantilly ones. Okay, so this was the snowman one I did from the stamp book. And this little tag, it came with this on it. I don't remember where I got it. It's either Hobby Lobby or it is, it could be Walmart. But this is just a simple tag that you can use. So what I did is I mounted him, a little bit of rickrack. There wasn't much room for a lot of fabric. And then on top, we have a cute little snowman button and ribbon and, what is that, twine? And he's gonna go on my main cross stitch tree. So I do have a lot of new ones to fill up this year. And then the second snowman one I did, and I love him. He's probably one of my favorites. So this sled was It came from the Dollar Tree. And when I went back, there was no more. And I didn't want to drive around town looking for more. I was just happy I found one. It was just regular unfinished wood. And so what I did is I spray painted it white. So again, something you can use, that's $1. And with him, I pretty much the same thing. I used the 2 fabrics, the rickrack, a little bit of greenery on the outside, and then just the red bow and a simple snowflake button. And then a little twine. And I love him. So very inexpensive and very cute. Okay, let's see, what should we do next? Okay, I have another one from Salt and Pepper Stitching. This one, I don't remember which one this was. I don't remember. I showed you guys last week, but here is the finish on this one. So this piece, the tobacco basket, is from Chantilly, 141. And what I did is I spray painted it white, and then I sanded the edges off, of course. And then I mounted him in here. He fit perfectly, barely. I kind of had to trim a little bit so that he would fit in there. And then on top, I just have, this again, some ribbon, a cute little Santa, and he's not really a button. He comes in a package. You can come on, my daughter-in-law. He comes in a package and it says ho, 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 and it has the little Santa heads, and I just glued him right to the center of him. And then I added, you're okay. And then I added just my own twine and put a little bow up there, tied it in a bow. And I love him. The ribbon matched perfectly, everything worked out. So you'll see I used that red ribbon that Alyssa told me about. So I probably have one roll left. But it was just perfect for every finish. It's like the perfect red. And it's in the Walmart. In Walmart, it is in, it's like by the mini ornaments. And like I said, I could only find 3, but I was grateful for that. So if you guys want some just plain red ribbon, then I mean, it's perfect for finishes. And this is definitely the perfect size ribbon if you don't want huge bows on your finishes. So, okay, my next one was also by Salt and Pepper Stitching, and I just did the Santa, and the pattern comes with a bunch of other stuff around it. And this is my finish on this. Now, this one is, I love the Santa. The finish, the reason it's not my fave is because I only stitched like 2 snowflakes down there, and I think I was in such a hurry and was so excited just to stitch him. I forgot that I should have stitched snowflakes all around him. So when I put him on here, I was like, that's a lot of blank space everywhere. So I filled it in with some snowflake buttons, and I almost just was like, no, I'm going to restitch him next year. But then I was like, you know what? Just leave it. It's fine. And Sky was like, he just goes to the back of the tree. And I'm like, no, I don't want him in the back of the tree because I love him so much. But sometimes, you know, if that happens, you just add a couple buttons and it's fine. So this is mounted on, this is just on sticky board. So there is nothing extra to this. Sticky board rickrack, and then I put red rickrack kind of to give it a little bit of more cutesiness around the ends of it. And then I glued the twine to the top, and then I have the greenery. And then again, 2 bows and the little Santa head again. The lighting's here, and here's kind of weird today. So that, I mean, besides buying sticky board and stuff, a lot of ornaments I used to do like this, and I wouldn't put on anything, and I think they look great just the way they are. Okay, I do have a few more. We're getting there. Okay, so this one was it's by Primrose Cottage, and I took it out of their Christmas rules. I did just the ghost sledding. So this was a wood sign that and I think it said something on it, and it was $4.99, but it's like 40 or 50% off, and it was at Micheals. So I think it had a piece, I think it had words and it had like attached piece of greenery. So I just pulled the greenery right off and the staple right off. And thankfully he fit on here. So again, he's the rickrack, the gingham fabric, and then a little bit of greenery, and then the bows again. So I did a lot, you guys know mostly I do a lot of plaid bows and stuff like that, but this year I kind of went with just the solid bows, and I was okay with it. And then a snowflake button in the middle. So that, I mean, again, you can find just a little piece of wood and stick a finish on there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one. The next one is Sleigh Bells Ring, and this was the stitch by Cherry Hill Stitchery. And here's my finish on this one. I had this fabric and it matched perfectly because this is a darker red, and I decided to make it into an ornament. And there's nothing wrong with having huge ornaments. To me, it was too small to do. I mean, you could do it for something, you know, on a flat fold or whatever, but I wanted it to be an ornament. So I just added a little bit of rickrack. There is a little bit of greenery, and then a jingle bell and 2 ribbons. And then I just glued the twine to the top. And again, another very inexpensive ornament. So there's that one. And that's Sleigh Bells Ring by Cherry Hill Stitchery. Okay. What do we got next? Okay, this one is Ho Ho Ho, or it might be called Merry Dear. And this was by the Frosted Pumpkins. So last time I showed you guys, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I had another idea, but then I'm like, no, I kind of wanted to make him into an ornament, another big one. And I'm not much of a hoop user for finishes, but I was like, I think it'll work. So this was a 6-inch hoop, and I spray painted it white, and then I stuck the piece in there, and I glued the edges down. I'm not going to show you because it's a mess back. The stitching is a little bit of dragging thread everywhere, but then I just glued rickrack to the back, so it would go all the way around. And then on the top we have just 2 ribbons, and we have that cute little deer button. And then I added just a little twine up here to hang him. So another way that you can actually make, you know, hoop ornaments and dress them up a little bit. And Anna does the one where it's more poofy, but I don't know how to do that yet. And I told her she's gonna have to show me. But this was big enough that I don't think it needed that. I think it was fine just like it was. And the bow, no, it does not match, but I am learning also not everything has to match. There was no green that matched that exactly. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm happy with it just the way it is. My OCD's calming down a little bit. Okay, my last ornament I did is the Santa's Tree Farm, and this is the Roundabouts by Priscilla and Chelsea. So I did stitch this on 28 count white Monaco, which I have a bunch of. So and I love it on the white, because you know, when we first started all stitching and all there was white, and I was like, I will never stitch on white again. And I absolutely love it. I think the colors pop. I think it's absolutely I loved every second of stitching this. These are so cute. So what I did is I made it into a circle finish. I believe there are two layers of batting. And then around here, if you can kind of see, I put red rickrack around, and then I cut another circle just out of sticky board, and then I put the white rickrack around. And then again, glued the little twine to hold them up, and then 2 bows, and again, the little Santa embellishment. He's not a button, so. And I love him. And I'm gonna do them all the same. There might be a different color bow or something, but and I'm going to do all of them. I've seen 3 so far, but I absolutely love them. I think they're absolutely adorable. Can I say absolutely anymore? Okay, so that was like 13, I think, ornaments. So I hope that gave you a little bit of inspiration of different ways and different things that you can do with ornaments. Again, that are not expensive. You don't have to, you know, if you want to buy certain things, but you don't have to do a lot. And I think that's why I wanted to do ornaments so much this year, because they're quick. It's instant gratification. It makes you feel like you're doing something, accomplishing something. And sometimes the big projects, they get overwhelming for me and my attention span is not there. So this was super fun to do. Like, I don't think I've ever enjoyed Christmas stitching as much as I have this year. And then being able to take them in smaller finishes are so much easier. And I just had a lot of fun. So if you have stuff out there that you haven't done up yet, go ahead and get started on it and just have fun. Just have fun. So, and then I have one more finished piece, and this is my big piece. And I love how this turned out. Okay, so this, it's hard to get it on the picture. I'm gonna have to talk around it. So this was the 3 ones that I stitched for Priscilla's. So 2 of them I stitched last year. I believe this one I stitched this year. So I didn't finish them last year. I saved them because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with them. And so my inspiration for this came from Amy, and she is on Instagram under Amy and Stitches. And she did Fall on the Farm. And she took 3 of them and she stuck them on, I think it was a really big cutting board that she had custom made. But I loved the idea of 3 together. So I went and I got this board, and it is in the unfinished wood section. I will put the link, or not, I will put the SKU number in the show notes. But what this was when I bought it, this in here where the white is, it was brown. Brown wood, and then the outside was white. And I was like, okay, we need to change that. But it was the perfect size. So I spray painted the whole inside white. And then on the outside, I took black, what is it? It's distressed ink, and I distressed it. And then inside here, so this is where it's gonna get a little tricky for you. But I'll tell you how to do it. You're gonna tape it off just around all the edges. Oops. And then you're going to take the ink pad and you're going to, you know, slide it in there. It is not going to reach all the way to the back here or all the way to the corners. But all you need to do is take a little paintbrush and just kind of smoosh around, and it will fill it all in, and it will give you that distressed look. And I was so happy with it. At first I thought, I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to tape the whole thing off and spray paint it black. But once I had finished it, I was like, okay, I like it. It was exactly what I wanted. So I took all 3 pieces and I stuck them on sticky board, have the rickrack, used the plaid fabric, and then on top I put, these were separate, but I had my hubby staple them down. So we have the greenery and the berries, and then there's my 3 bows that all match. And then the little tag, I just, it had a black, these are the little tiny ornaments you can get from Walmart. And I took the little black string out, and I made a little twine bow, and I glued it right to the middle. And I love this. Like Sky, my daughter-in-law, was helping me because I was like, I don't know if I like this, you know, the distressed. And she's like, because I only did here and the sides. I didn't do the inside. And she's like, no, I like it, but you need to do the insides. I'm like, I know. So once I had done that, then it was perfect. And so it just gives you another option if you don't want to use spray paint. And it's the Tim Holtz ink, that distressed ink that you can get. And I just got black, and it just, the way it rubs on there, it's just so perfect. It gives the most perfect distressed look without having, to spray paint and then sand everything down. So once this is distressed, I did not have to sand it. But I don't know if it's because there was paint already on here. It did take a couple days to dry. It doesn't dry. Maybe if you used a blow dryer, it would work quicker, but for me, it did take a couple days for it to dry. But this is my favorite piece. And Sky has been waiting for me to finish that, and she saw it and she's like, I love it, I love it. And I'm like, I know, it's so cute. So that vision did come, what I wanted, it came out better than what I imagined, and I love when that happens. I love when that happens. Okay, so I do have a couple of other finishes that I have not FFO'd yet. But I did want to show you this first. So I know that everybody has been asking about the Silent Night that I finished for Primrose. And it was on a house that came from Walmart. And I think I took it and sanded it. So I did find this barn. As you can see, this is just paper on here. I did take, it had a bow on there, I ripped it off. I am going to sand all of this down. And then I'm going to paint it white and I'm going to distress it. And then I will stick the Silent Night on there. And it gives me a little bit more room to, you know, stick the rickrack and fabric. And then I'll put the star up here. And on the other one, I did have like a wood dowel attached to the star. And that was because I was trying to cover something up. This, I can just stick the star on top. And you can stick any star. You don't have to use the big one I used. You can stick a little star over here or whatever you want. But this, I will put this in the show notes. It is from Hobby Lobby. And I thought that would be a very good substituted piece that would work for this one. And if you stitched it on, mine's on 27 count. So even if you stitched it on 25 count, it's still going to fit on there. Okay. A couple other finishes I have. I did finish Come Let Us Adore Him by Lizzie Kate. And again, I used the same colors as the Silent Night, all of the others. So I did finish this one. And that was a fun one to stitch. And I do need to FFO those. I'm going to decorate first. And then I got to go to my room and de-decorate all of that. And then I will work on my last finishes that I need to do. So I also finished 2 more of the Prairie Schoolers from A Merry Mini Surprise. A Merry Mini Surprise. I did 2 of those. And they're tiny. They're so cute. So I did those 2. And these are stitched on the tea-dyed 28 count Monaco. And yes, thankfully I still have some from a long time ago with this stuff because I ordered again and it's still way too stiff. I don't know why they don't make it. This is like the perfect amount of perfect. It's stiff, but it's not like where it's going to cut you. So I still have not been able to find any like they used to make. So I had a little bit left and I'm just saving it for those. So now I have 6 Prairie Schooler ornaments. And the next time I'm here, I will show you how I'm going to do all of those different also. And those are going to go on my tree in my bedroom. And it's just that little tiny tree. So that's kind of my, that's going to be after the house is done. It's kind of like if I get to it this year, I get to it. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. Okay, yeah, that's all my finishes. So now I have a couple whips, not many. I picked this up again, the Merry Christ, the Santa baby. And because I have this one, I have the reindeer, and I knew Mrs. Claus was going to be next. And I saw a sneak peek. I'm like, I know that's Mrs. Claus. And I'm like, I need to get this one done because I want to do them both together. Let's see. Can you see? Let's see. Yeah, it's not great. It's hard to see him. I don't think anything will hold the bag up, I guess. Okay, so I'm using the exact same Aida that it's called for, that came with it. And so I did get him outlined. It's hard to see. And I got a little bit of red down. And then last night I was trying to go back and forth. It is a lot of white. And you guys know I don't like white. But there's something about Aida where the white just seems to, it doesn't give me as much problem. It stitches up much nicer on the Aida. And I'm like, Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to do a little bit of white, and then I'm going to do a little bit of red. And then I'll do a little bit more white, and then I'll do a little bit of red, because the red doesn't bother me at all. I'm like, it is easy. But I really want to finish that. And that was a whip from last year that I barely started. And I'm like, no, I really, really want to get that done, because I want to do Mrs. Santa, and I want to do the Rudolph too. Okay. Another whip I have is I pick this back up again for my Sabbath stitching, and it was the Sheep Virtues. And so I am doing the Faith one. So it's all I have to do is finish the border. And this is stitched on, it's on 28 count taupe. And I am doing this stitch along. We're doing this as a stitch along, Lindsey and I, with Primrose Cottage. And the hashtag is PC Sheep Virtues Sal. And I will put that in the show notes. Where's my notes here so I remember that? So I wanted to get back onto these and get some more done. So today, if I have time, I'm hoping I do, that I can work on this some more today. Okay, let's put this stuff, it's just too much stuff here. And I have one more whip. And this one is Mary Claus, because I am all about the Santa and Mrs. Santa this year. Oh, I love them. I can't get enough. That's what my bedroom's going to be, is kind of a Santa theme. So, oops, there that went. Oh, well. And so this is what I have gotten done so far. So as you can see, I took out the turquoise. I did not want that, and I changed it. I asked Alyssa, I'm like, what color? I want to stitch this. What color am I going to change that Mary to? And she's like, use the light green. I was like, thank you. And so, and then instead of the blue little snowflakes, Smyrnas, I made the eggshell. And then instead of the light colored tree, I made the dark colored tree. And then this is dark green, so I kind of subbed it out. So the only light green will be in the word Mary. And I love it. It's so cute. So I need to get back to that. And this year is probably the first year. If you guys know me, you know I stitch before season. And this year, I am having so much fun stitching that I'm like, that's all, you know what? I'm going to stitch out of, I'm going to keep stitching in season too. I'm going to, as long as I feel like stitching, oh, sorry. As long as I feel like stitching Christmas, I'm going to just keep going with it. I have really enjoyed it this year. And Christmas is definitely there's something about the holiday. I just love stitching it. So I will be doing that with other things. Okay. The only two little enabling things I have for you, I found at Walmart in their dollar spot, and I thought finish would be cute for that. And I believe there was a couple different ones. And then, I mean, you always need a sled. I'm like, what do you need a sled for? I'm like, you always need a sled. And this was both of them are $5. And so this is just, oh, is that on there? No. Oh, it is glued on there. Okay, well, you just pull this off, and I would take this off and do something different, different greenery. But if you want a cute little sled for $5, it's perfect. Both from Walmart. Okay, I did get some Stitchy kindness. Somebody that I had let borrow one of my patterns, I passed it on, and then she actually sent it back to me. She also sent me this cute pattern, the Cocoa Cafe, which will get stitched next year. And 'Tis the Season, Lizzie Kate, which I have a ton of them. Don't have this one at all. So, what was her name? Laura. Yeah, Laura. Thank you so much, Laura. You did not have to do that, but I sure appreciate it. And then I wanted, last time when I was talking about the tins, that I could not find them, a couple of you reached out to me and offered to send me your tins that you have. And I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate it. I still have one that Fiona has for me that she picked up, and that was from Brenda. She left it at Stitcher's Paradise for me. And then I had 2 other ladies, and I wanted, that had sent me these, but I wanted to share what I did to the back of them. I wrote their name on the back because I want, when I do these finishes, I want to remember that this came as a gift for me, that this community has some amazing people who are willing to share and help you. So then every time I see that ornament, I remember that person. So if you ever get Stitchy Kindness or anything like that, it's just kind of a cool idea. So you remember who it came from, you know, and every time you see it, you remember the good, wonderful people there are out there that are willing to help you and just, you know, I mean, they could have used these for something else and they were so generously just gave them. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for that. I so appreciate it. Okay. I have just a couple things of haul and that's it. So I did get one more sheep virtue, the joyful one, joyfulness. And I'm going to, because it's kind of Christmas theme, I am going to do that next. So who needs to go over here? I did get Little House Needleworks, the Winter Petites, finished by my Alyssa. She did an amazing job. These are adorable. Can't wait to stitch them next year. And then I got the next 2 roundabouts, which I'm going to stitch. Okay. And then I went, if you've ever, I need to link her in the show notes too. She is Paisleys and Polka Dots. She does a lot of finishes for Priscilla and Chelsea, or gives them the things for the something like that. But look how cute this is. So it comes with the whole wood kit. That's what it looks like. You will have to paint some stuff, but then there are like the bow and the rolling pin. It's paper, and so you just Mod. I'm assuming you Mod Podge it on there. But how cute is that? So I got that one, and then of course I had to get the Dear Santa. So I need to find a Santa piece that I want to stitch on this for next year. And I didn't stitch much gingerbread this year. I was gung-ho with Santas, but you know, I'm gonna save these for next year and use them. But super cute, super cute. I was so excited to get those. I'm like, I can't wait. I had FOMO. I was like, I gotta get them now, even though I'm not using them until next year, because then I can plan out what piece I want to put on that. That needs to go in there. Okay. I think that is it for this week. So I hope that you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and a wonderful time with your family. We are going to Dave's mom's. We usually trade off every other year. I cook here with our family, and then we go to his mom's, and she cooks for everybody. And this is the last year that we will be doing that she's going to do that. So my dad, who doesn't ever want to go anywhere, he's actually going, and Sky and the baby are going. No, Tyler is not here, and I'm not going to get into that, but we're good. And the baby and Sky are good, and that's what we're focusing on. So we are going to go and spend Thanksgiving with all of Dave's family, and I don't have to cook, and I get to spend, you know, good quality time. Just, you know, it's going to be really nice. So I hope all of you have a really good Thanksgiving, and remember and focus on what you're grateful for and what you're thankful for, and how blessed that we really are. And I've been trying to think about that. I mean, I think about that all the time, but more this month of, even though there's hard stuff, there is, you know, what I'm thankful for. And I am so thankful for my family. I'm thankful I have a house that is full of peace and love, and that when people come over here, they can feel it and they want to be here. Like all of Chase's friends and John's, they love coming over here, and that makes me happy. That's the type of home I've always wanted to have, because I did not grow up with that. So that was really important to me. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for my kids, my granddaughter, who is Oh, you guys, being a grandparent is the best thing ever. Like all night last night, she's like, Hot Pocket, Hot Pocket. And she's not even 2 and she speaks so good. And we have no idea where Hot Pocket came from. And then some of the stuff she says, it's, it's baby talk. So she talks really well, but some stuff's, a little slightly off. But the Hot Pocket, it's like plain as day, perfect. And I am just laughing. So I just keep saying Hot Pocket, and then she'll say it and I just laugh hysterically. But it's so much fun being a grandma. Best thing ever. But I'm thankful for my wonderful husband who puts up with me and my crazy, my wonderful boys, and I'm thankful for my Savior, Jesus Christ, and for God and how much He has blessed me and taken care of me and is always there with me and gets me through every single thing and reminds me that I am never alone. And we're not, ever. He's always there with us. And that's what gets me through. It ain't me. Ain't me on my own. So, again, I just take some time and reflect on everything that you're grateful for. And, yeah, that's it for today. So have a great Thanksgiving. I'm sure I will be back, to share my prairie schooler ornaments, the different ways I did those, and some other finishes if I can get around to them. So until next time, have a great week. Bye, guys.